And now, ladies and gentlemen,
Put your thumbs up and say it's Tickety Boo.
Tickety Boo.
Tickety Boo, Tickety Boo, everything's Tickety Boo.
Tickety Boo, son. Tickety Boo.
Tickety Boo.
Hello and welcome to Tickety Boo. Today we're talking about why do we make life harder than it needs to be. This episode's about something I think we're all guilty of, taking something fairly simple and turning it into a complicated mess. We overthink it, we add pressure, and then we wonder, why do we feel absolutely done in? I was thinking about this the other day, and I don't think we always make life hard by accident. I think we do things because we think they're helping us, but we're actually making things worse, like overthinking or avoiding and putting things off. I was like, if there was an international Olympic team of avoiding and putting things off, I'd be the captain at one point in my life. What about you guys?
I would be the captain of perfectionism.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's my that's what I've done before. How about you, Anne?
Yeah, I'm the same with perfectionism.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but I think going deeper into it, it kind of keeps me safe because then I can say, well, it's not perfect, so I don't have to do it right now.
Yeah.
And so then it keeps me in my comfort zone, you know?
So it's an avoidant trap then.
I see, whereas I'll end up down like a rabbit hole. So it's also, I take on something and I won't hand it off to anybody else. It's like, I can do it. So it's like, it's the emotional and physical and mental overload. It's like, oh yeah, I can do it. I can do better.
Yeah.
So particularly, definitely in my younger years, it was just like, oh, if I can't do it, great, then I just won't bother.
I think done is better than perfect, or done and refine, because I think perfection ultimately gets in the way of execution, doesn't it?
Oh gosh, yes.
Yeah, I'm trying to get better at it. Yes.
And it is that, we've talked about this in previous episodes about not wanting to suck or fail or get something wrong. So we actually are just not do anything then, but then we get frustrated that we're not moving forwards in life.
Yeah.
Put it out there.
Yeah, and it's definitely, I recognize it as fear and wanting to be in control. And we've said this again and again. There's no such thing as control. There's also no such thing as perfect. It's like done is better than not done.
Yeah.
And accepting good enough. Now, that's not to be slack and just be flippant and go, I'll just do bare minimum. But it's like, we don't need to put such pressure on ourselves.
Because we spend too much time living inside our own minds, don't we?
Overthinking, yeah.
Overthinking.
Yeah, and sometimes simplicity can just feel wrong when you...
Yeah, this was too easy.
Yes,
Yeah, but question for you, how many times have you overthought something and actually figured it out as part of that process? For me, it's never.
Never, no. It
Yeah.
always comes
I was
from...
trying to think of something like,
No, it comes from taking a break from thinking about it.
So the answers come from not thinking.
Yeah, distraction
Absolutely.
and then the answer will just come for it.
well, when we were just, before we hit record for this episode, we were just chatting about like getting all these amazing ideas. You were getting them at the concert that you were at. Like I get them when I'm driving or in the shower. Like it's when we're distracted doing something else and we're not overthinking and
That is so
fixated,
true, isn't it?
then like the genius idea drops in or the aha moment. And it's always so much simpler than we think.
They do. These coin drop moments, as I call them, tend to happen when, like you say, you're in the shower, you're washing the dishes, you're out for a walk with the dog. But I think a lot of us, and I was like, let me overthink the shit out of this, go down an absolute rabbit hole with it. And then at that point, you couldn't feel further from an answer than you actually are. And you feel really, really stuck. And I think the problem is we are living in either yesterday or tomorrow, not in the now. And when you come back to the now and just do whatever you need to be doing in that moment, let another part of your mind start to come up with solutions for you.
Yeah.
It's that getting out of your own way, isn't it?
It's so important, just to try and be as present, as you're not going to achieve that all the time, every day.
100%.
Well, when we're trying to force it, it's like we've talked about that before, where the the difference between force over power, actually, like being powerfully present for yourself is amazing. When you're trying to force it, the ideas don't come, we don't make progress, it can feel really restricted, it's not easy, and certainly doesn't bring us peace, which...
Well, as the saying that I've used, force versus flow.
Yeah.
Am I flowing with things and letting them? That doesn't mean like not doing anything, but I'm like just letting the momentum naturally gather and it unpacks itself, rather than, you know, trying to drive things at 100 mile an hour and make them happen. That never really works well.
There's times when you naturally feel like you've got more energy and you've got more inspiration and you're feeling really, really creative.
Yeah.
It might be a day, a week, a month out of time, but there's also times and days and weeks where it's not there.
Yeah.
You know, you just need to, and you can't be...
Force it.
As productive as you want to be every single day.
No, you can't.
You just got to kind of go with...
It does, yeah. I think the one thing that I've learned is that my brain loves problems that don't exist yet.
Yes, I've noticed that.
Now, that can be used, by the way, as a superpower if you know how to turn it on and off. So if I'm looking at a project or doing something, my brain can go, where could it go wrong? Where are the pitfalls? And I can create contingencies and plans for that.
Yeah.
It's when that becomes a thing and it's always there, because, you know, it will always find a problem in something, and it's like, you know, look for solutions. So I can switch that and go, and I'm now looking for solutions. And in my other business, which is very much about, you know, live events, it's like showbiz, it's happening there and then. You have to have if that goes wrong, we'll immediately go to this, we'll then do that.
Yeah.
So that's a great skill.
It's a skill, and it can be used as a superpower. I think it's when you're overthinking about, you know, day to day.
Use your superpower for good.
Yeah, you're using it against yourself rather than for yourself. Or are you problem solving or are you problem creating?
Yeah.
And is it stopping you actually just taking a very small bit of action that could take you forward?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the one thing I've learned is most problems lie in thought, not in reality.
Yeah.
That is the key thing there, isn't it? And thinking doesn't solve them. It just elongates them. It makes them much longer than they need to be. You know, and you've already talked about perfectionism. You're like, let me think about this longer and keep refining it and keep doing it and not put it out there until I completely figure it out. And something that's that big is now absolutely huge, isn't it? And then you get trapped in that perfectionism trap.
I'm so much better than I used to be. It's like, as I shared a couple of episodes ago, I've been tweaking my website. I'm always tweaking my website. And I never used to be able to even go and do the bits I was doing. But it's just in that moment, like, I published it and there was a whole bunch of things that were off. And there was like this one bit, I couldn't change some of the background colors. It was out there and it was really weird because it was a color that clashed. Couldn't figure it out. And then contacted a friend of mine, and who's an amazing website designer, and she said, oh, probably what you need to do is this. And it's like, oh my God, you're kidding me. No matter how much I Googled, I couldn't find this one little thing. And that was it. I haven't updated all the pages because I have to go into each of them, but it's out there. And it's...
The thing is, simple tasks just turn into full production jobs, don't they?
Yeah.
You know, like you've gone to paint the front door and suddenly you're putting a new roof on the house. Yeah, that, I am guilty of doing that. And the thing is, what you feel like you're doing then is just pushing paint around the page, but you never actually end up with a painting.
Yeah.
You know, you're just like, oh, I don't like that bit, I'll paint over it. And I think, and to be honest with you, most times, those little things aren't really going to have a bearing on what's, you know, nobody goes to your website and go, I was actually going to work with you, but the fact that you use that colour shade, deal breaker. And we're just adding pressure, not value there, aren't we?
Yeah.
But and that's what this episode's about. We add all these stupid pressures on ourselves just because. I had a client the other week who was doing Easter Sunday dinner for the whole family. Pretty straightforward, apart from a bit of pressure. But spent 3 days going around the shops looking for a certain type of plate. because she wanted it to look a certain way on the
Yeah.
table.
I recognise that.
Oh,
And got really flustered. And I'm like, do you honestly think like these people are going to come in and go, oh, dinner was really tasty, but the plate,
Yeah.
that let it down.
yeah, the plate let it down. And how do we get in our own way? So
I would probably have a vision in my head of how I think it should be and how I want it to be.
okay,
And then the reality maybe won't live up to that. And then do I see that as
is your
failure
vision
or
unrealistic and too harsh?
Probably.
Or
expectations are probably too high?
okay, and do you feel like maybe at some kind of level that's your brain trying to protect you from perceived judgment, or
Could be, yes. I've not actually explored it.
gone into it?
Yeah, but yeah.
Yeah. So like for me, if I invited you guys for a meal, I'm not going to be thinking about the plate. Obviously, you'll get a plate.
Oh, thank you.
Eat it out of your hands. I'm thinking about, I want you to enjoy the meal. So I'm thinking about ingredients and, making sure it's done right. But, how we can take something
Yeah.
relatively simple and suddenly turn it into this huge project. And
It's
you're
a
like,
really good
let
point.
me overthink the living daylights out of this. And I look at people sometimes and I laugh, not at them internally, like, I can completely resonate with you. Their plate was my conversation or the email or the phone call that I needed to make. It's like, pause, let's really get into this.
Yeah.
How important is it really?
Yeah, totally and utterly. So we hesitate or we get in our own way and then we just end up not trusting ourselves that we're going to get it right. So we freeze.
Yeah. And I think there's so much to be said about the expectation or the vision that you say, Anne, because that's definitely where I've gotten myself into trouble, particularly when I first became a mum. I got postnatal depression. I know that a lot of it, besides the situation I was in, a lot of it was actually down to my own expectations of what I was going to be as a mum. So, not diving too far into, identity and how things change when you're a mum, but it was my own expectations that I wasn't living up to. And oh my gosh, was I hard on myself.
Well, during that process, I imagine you just start ignoring all of your basic needs.
Yeah. Gone.
So
Completely.
you don't look after yourself at all. Yeah. Poor habits, no sleep, everything's feeling really, really hard and we're really, really stressed out. So you're already running on low because you're going through a hard phase and you're like, I'm just now going to make this even.
Impossible.
Yeah. If you're swimming up and down the pool, it's like I'm going to tie one arm and leg
Yeah.
And then on
together.
top of that, because you are feeling low on yourself and you're not feeling like yourself, you're less likely, you retreat.
You run down, you
you're
can't
less
do it.
likely to speak out and say, this is how I'm feeling, and that just compounds the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, let's massively overcomplicate this whole situation now. Taking on too much, not setting boundaries. Like, weirdly, the person I talked to you about with the big Sunday dinner, she's kind of struggling with a sort of flip-flop between depression and anxiety at the moment.
Yeah.
And she's one of these doers in life. You see people that are always doing, they're always got somewhere to be, somewhere to go, something to fix, somebody to pick up, somebody to drop off.
So
something
busy
to
being
make.
busy.
Busy being busy. And actually, she thought the trap was about the plates, but actually where she was in her own healing journey was about, why did you even agree to cook for like 13 people when actually emotionally at the moment you're quite overwhelmed and you've got a lot going on yourself? By the way, other people in the family offered to cook the dinner that day. And she's coming in and like we end up in this conversation about plates, but actually the conversation before that was, I'm feeling absolutely exhausted and quite low. We ended up in the conversation around dinner plates. So you can kind of see like how something quite trivial or light-hearted here actually feeds into a much bigger issue over here. In reality, she said yes to something that probably deeper down she wanted to say no to. But the fear of saying no or how it would look to the family, on putting her own needs as a priority. And that's it, isn't it? You know, if it's a queue of people, you constantly put yourself at the back of it, so all the people in front of you are happy in the queue.
Yeah.
And you just end up feeling like utter crap.
Yeah.
Exhausted, overwhelmed. I with being aware of this and also knowing that when I get overloaded, so I've shared that I was just recently packing up my dad's farmhouse and cleaning it to get it on the market. I did like 129 hours in 2 weeks of hardcore cleaning and carrying. And I'm emotionally I'm exhausted. I can recognize burnout. So I've actually pulled out of something that is amazing that I meant to be doing in the summer, doing a workshop at this festival that I helped put on. But I'm not going to put my workshop on. Like I let her know yesterday. It's just, I haven't got the bandwidth. It's so easy. It's only an hour of my time, but like I haven't, like I'm done. And I think that's the thing. We have to start choosing ourselves, and saying no is sometimes just not right now. Or I can do this, but not that. So her still wanting to cook dinner for everybody. Well, actually, if she could have paused and really been truthful with herself and expressed, actually, I would like to be part of it. But yeah, I haven't got the ability or the capacity to do it. And I think that's so important for all of us when we do make life harder for ourselves.
Yeah, you can't be all things to everybody, can you? Because you'll be nothing to you, to yourself. Well, that's hard, isn't it, when you're in
it's
that?
It's hard to develop boundaries when there's not been any there.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I always think, I get a lot of people in therapy room who struggle through people pleasing and various reasons with boundaries. So you must then come back to those values that I've talked about in the previous episodes, peace and fulfillment. So like, if we go to the Sunday dinner, and I'm going to do this Sunday dinner for 13 people, I'm like, where am I at the moment in life? Is this going to bring me peace or a load of chaos? And am I going to feel fulfilled? Now, probably there would be an element of fulfillment of having the family together and cooking a meal. But what page of the book am I on at that point? If I'm in the middle of delivering a big major contract, and I've worked solidly all week and Sunday's my only day off, the natural would be like, yeah, I'll do dinner on Sunday. But then I bring my values in. Is this going to bring me peace and fulfillment? Not on this day, it's not. Let's offer an alternative. Let's go out or let somebody else kind of do it. So I think being in touch with your values when you don't know your boundaries is probably a much better way of going at it, isn't it?
Very much.
So as experiences come into your life, opportunities, people, friends and things, rather than having boundaries, filter them through your values, which are mine of peace and fulfillment. And if they come through the values and go, do these align? Great, we're on. Or do they align at this moment? And if they do, great. And if they don't align because the timing's not right or the thing's not right, and I have a choice, I say no.
Yeah,
I think be kind to yourself.
Be kind to yourself.
To say no.
Like it's so important to be able to say no.
Yeah, I know. We talk about this, about at times self-care requires you being selfish. Selfish is probably not the right word, but you get it. Like, I need to be first so that I can, I can deliver. It's like the lifeguard at the pool. You're drowning and they jump in and they drown with you. It's like I'm no use to you if I'm down there with you. And I think not many people have got their values nailed. They've got no idea what they actually value in their life. I mean, your values today will probably be different or, from where they were 20 years ago. Or some people don't know what the values are. They haven't even figured those out. And if you're making life really harder at the moment, maybe you need to pause and look at your values. What is important to you in life? Is it, is it connection? Is it integrity? Is it, what is it? Peace? Is it fulfillment? Figure out your values. If you're not sure, go and Google a load of values or get ChatGPT to go 5 values at me and go and find 2 or 3 that massively resonate with you.
Why not?
And there's actually a free online test people can go and do with positive psychology. It's Values in Action. So it's VIA and I think it's .org.
Right.
But yeah, you can just, it's takes a few minutes to do. It's not like a quick quiz, but it's really interesting. It reflects back to you what your core values are, and you can see if you're actually even overextending in some of them. So if one of your core values is honesty, so my top value is always honesty, no matter what's going on in my life. And even when it was the loss of my brother to suicide, like it was still up there in the top 3. And it's really interesting when I was younger, in teenage years, and I was honest, but to a fault. So I could be quite brutal with it. So it's really interesting because you can look at your values through that lens. So we can also be too overloaded into the value, or
too
where are
heavy.
you letting yourself down with that? Where are you not being actually, even though you're being honest, but you're not being compassionate with it. But yeah, it's a free online test people can go and do.
And I think if you go and do something like that, whether it's that online or you go and Google a list of values, is get 3 or 2 and absolutely burn them into your brain, know them off the bat, really internalize them. And then the shift for you is learning to put in the pause. So when somebody asks something of you or something comes your way, rather than doing that immediate reaction to it, put in the pause in and just asking yourself that question: how does this align with my values?
Sleep on it.
Sleep on it sometimes, that delay, yeah. And then if it doesn't align with those values and you don't have to do it, learn to say no and be uncomfortable with the silence after the no, or offer an alternative that's aligned with your values.
I was just thinking, my 11-year-old daughter last week, I asked her a question and she said, "Can I have some thinking time?" Yeah, I know.
Nice.
And
That's amazing.
Yeah. And I wonder if that's what she was doing. Not obviously not aware that she was doing that, but I wonder if.
Isn't that a great thing to say? I need a moment or a bit of time to think about or reflect on this. I've met a couple of people in my life. You'd ask them a question, and I think most people, as they've been asked a question, are already busy in their head compiling a response. And this person, you'd ask them a question, you actually see them stop and they mull it over for what felt like seconds, but was actually milliseconds. And then they would formulate their answer, because normally what you find is your first response is very rarely the real response.
Yeah.
And I think about putting that pause in, allowing the real response to come in. Your daughter could have just said what she was thinking you might want to hear.
Exactly what she was thinking would keep the day easy for mum. Or,
yeah, rather than going, let me think about this for a moment.
I think she's a genius, by the way.
I love that.
She's doing something right, I think.
Yeah, you're doing something right too.
That is that. Can I come back to you on this? Yeah. Or if you struggle to say no, one of the things you can do is go, thank you for the opportunity, or thank you for the ask. I've got a lot on in my life right now, and I wouldn't be able to give it everything that's needed. But maybe in the future.
Yeah.
And you've not said no. Like the dinner thing for me, it'd be like, look, I'm working till late on Saturday. I'm not really got much time. And if I was going to do this, I want to do it really well. So can we do something else instead?
Yeah.
And I'd offer, how about we go out, or how about we do this? And everybody still wins, because we still get something out of it, but we all get something out of it. Old me would have been like, sure, fine. And then, you're operating on a handful of hours sleep.
And before you know it, you're resenting the fact that you've agreed to it, and the people that are coming to your house, and it's like, it's not their fault.
On Amazon Prime going, I need nice plates, find nice plates. It's so easy to fall into doing this, isn't it? And I think that you've used the phrase, the power of the pause.
I was just going to say that, power of the pause.
The power of the pause, of training your mind, creating that plasticity to go, something coming in, pause, values, think, then response.
Yeah.
Because what I found is, Ian talked about this on another episode, where somebody would ask him a question and he's thinking about the answer, and then they continue asking questions while he's not coming. And you're like, wait.
Yeah, still in the first one.
Still in the first one. That lag
so
while
fast,
part of you.
aren't we, these days,
we are.
We just don't slow down.
No, we don't. And I think probably because of working in therapy and listening to people talk, one of the skills certainly our listeners could take from this episode is, when somebody asks you something, Allow yourself to experience and actually take the question or the bit of information in, and give yourself a little bit of time, seconds, to figure out what that means to you, how it feels to you, and ask yourself, is the response I'm about to give the one I want to give, or the one I've just unconsciously off the bat fired forward because it feels right? What I've noticed is when I'm being truly authentic, some of my responses are a little bit uncomfortable because I'm being true to myself.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
You know, like, because normally it's because I need to say no or I need to push back against something, and part of me goes like, well, my old programming tries to fire up. Yeah, like, this is really uncomfortable. Let's go people please. It's much easier. Yeah, isn't it? I think that's a key takeaway for listeners of this episode. But as always, we end up going down a bit of a rabbit hole with these things. But if you could take one thing, the power of the pause, learning your values, your first reaction is very normally probably not the right reaction. Give yourself that space to stop and think. Well, there we have it. Thanks, Anne. Thanks, Iona. Another great episode. As always, we really appreciate you watching and listening. And we look forward to catching up with you in the next episode of Tickety Boo.
Before we go, if you're going through something right now, please do talk to somebody. A friend, a family member, anyone you trust. And if you need a bit more support, contact your GP or NHS 24 on 111 or the Samaritans on 116123. They are always at the end of a phone, or alternatively, visit the Peace of Mind website. Links are in the episode description. You are not alone in this. Take care of yourselves. Catch you in the next episode.